Good morning, Ultra Engineers. Let's discuss the week's progress. We'll just get right to it. This is October 26th, 2024. Okay, so here's what happened last week. I optimized the material paint shaders. I said last week that the initial implementation was running a bit slow, and that was okay. It's running fast now. The way I had to do this is I actually had to add new shader variations into the shader family file. And so it adds another material lookup based on the number of materials that are in use. And so that way, now when you use the material painting shaders, you're only paying for what you use. Because I found even if extra materials were not getting used in the shader, there was still an additional cost on that fragment shader, and it slowed it down pretty significantly. The way shader optimization works is kind of weird because it doesn't really behave like a CPU program, like a program that runs on the CPU. Shader code is weird and it follows its own rules, and so the only way to really figure those rules out is through trial and error. I learned a couple of things that I think can be applied in other areas, but that's all done. The brush subdivision on quad brush faces when the edge size is set to 0 is implemented. We have a few bug fixes. I did a modeling test just to get a 3D model from my modeling program into our example game, just to make sure everything was working, and we'll talk briefly about that. Everything worked out fine. I found an enemy character that I want to use for the FPS, for our first-person shooter template example game. And I talked to the author. Haven't signed the contract on it yet, but we agreed to the terms and a price. And I have to write up the contract. And before I do that, I have to just convert all the animations and make sure that that's all working before I pay for it. But I think everything's going to be fine. I'll show you that. This week, probably the biggest thing that happened actually was the downloads area is open. We have over 2,000 game-ready PBR materials to choose from. And so the release of version 098 is coming up. And the only things left to do on that, brush faces, if they don't have 4 edges, the subdivision has not been implemented. I need to do that. We're going to need a per vertex brush displacement value that you can adjust manually in the editor. And then we also need a mesh vertex displacement tool built into the model editor. And what that's going to do is it'll take any 3D model that you load, and it will detect the seams based on the texture coordinates and the normals, and it will seal those seams up so that you don't have any cracks if a displacement map is used. It'll do that by setting the vertex displacement at those vertices to 0. And so that'll just allow you to put any 3D model in there and seal those cracks up. And so it makes displacement and tessellation useful. So this is a look at the... I kind of finalized and improved the blending here for material painting. And it looks really good. I actually think with this knowledge, I think I'm going to actually make another pass at the terrain blending, because I think that can be improved a little bit. But the displacement only occurs where the material appears, so it's all worked out. It was a little bit complicated, but everything's good now, and it looks fantastic. You've got all this unique detail everywhere, and this is the painting on this is not super high res. It's per vertex, and you've only got one vertex, every 4 grid spaces or so, maybe. So it's not super high res, but it's just the displacement map and the blending equation it just creates all this unique detail, and it looks so fantastic. So I love this feature because it's a really easy way for you to get something that looks really, really visually impressive without a lot of work. And it goes along perfectly with all the game-ready PBR materials that we have for you now. Another optimization I made is the tessellation only occurs on the on the polygons that need it. So you can see here, this section here all has a vertex with a non-zero, where there's a material weighting that is non-zero. And so all of these polygons use tessellation. But these polygons over here, the shader detects that no tessellation is needed, and so it isn't used. That's a very cool optimization. And then here's the, this is our first test of some 3D modeling that I myself did. My background is actually, I started as a level design artist. And then I just learned to code because I wanted the tools that I wanted. And so I created these pipe models, and they're very precisely aligned so that they'll, like the radius and everything. I had to like use a calculator to get the right circumference for some of these bending pieces. But we just wanted to test and make sure that I still knew how to model, and that we could get this into the engine, and that it would look good, and that it would line up in the level correctly. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah. Here's our monster. I think he's very cool looking. I like his. I like all these spines because it gives you a really nice silhouette that you can see, especially because this our environment has a lot of contrast in the lighting, so it gives him a very nice silhouette, and also gives him very cool shadows. These high-res shadows look great, and having all these spines and stuff stick out, it looks very, very cool. I think he's gonna, and he's got the light-up eyes that look so creepy. I think he's gonna work really well, and the way this is going to work is this model is just going to be included with the engine in our own proprietary binary model format, and it will be allowed. You will be allowed to use it in Ultra Engine projects, royalty free, as long as it's distributed with in a compressed, encrypted package of some sort. Okay.
I have a question about go to the slide where it shows like back, back, back. Yeah, this one. Is there a way we can get that as a preview so we know if we overpainted? Like you see, like on the right side, um, those don't look like they have any tessellation, but obviously they don't because there's no like gravel on those two sections. Is there
Right
can it be
here.
like yeah, like right there?
The reason
One thing
that's
I'm just worried about overpainting
mhm.
and accidentally painting aside the brush that like you can't see, and then that impacts performance, and you're like wondering why,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
why it seems slow. But then you go and select the face, you're like, oh, this face has 5 materials on it, but because it's not subdivided or whatever, it's not showing the other layers, and it looks fine, but you don't
Right.
know until you select it. So if there could be like a gradient or a color view or something that shows like how expensive each face is, and then you the level designer can go in and say, oh yeah, I want like 5 layers here because it's the floor and the playable area. But if you see like red on the other side, like on the back face of the wall that you don't see, you can be like, oh, I'm gonna remove that because
Yeah.
that's pointless.
Do you have the wireframe option in your build of the editor? If you go up to view, is there a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I used it before, but by the time you just want I just want to visually see it because sometimes you won't be able to see it.
Why wouldn't you be able to see it if it's?
Wait, let me see. Let me load it up. So that's
I mean
wireframe mode.
that's what I'm using here to see what's going on.
I thought that was like a special. I thought that was like a special like a debugging thing you enabled when you were testing.
No, no,
All right,
it'll
so
just show up like this.
it doesn't show up like me. I'm loading up the example map we were working
Do you
on.
have tessellation
And,
enabled?
tools options. Yep, it's set to ultra.
Okay. Maybe the shader needs to be. updated.
I,
But
I copied and pasted the shader. Yeah, the project manager doesn't like update my shaders for the Xform project anymore, so I have to manually like update it. It's kind of
mm,
annoying,
okay.
yeah, but yeah, I just something like I don't know, maybe just like a. I think colors would be like more like
Yeah.
if it like just like if it's like blue or whatever, it's like very simple. I just need to like know where all my like how expensive each brush is
I
because
would like to implement in the future. I would like to implement like a few different view options,
all right.
like Fulbright, and then shaded, and then lighting only, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
like paint. Show like in RGB. I'm not sure how that would work because we only have three color channels. But oh yeah, I guess we could like you would only need three because the base color channel is always assumed to be like that's always painted, right? So you could display the paint in RGB. I think that would be another way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to do something like that in the future. Have a few different view options. That could be one of them.
Yeah, because we don't really have much debugging tools in the editor right now, so you can't like so you make something that looks great, and then when you go to run it, it was like, well, why is it slow? It's like,
Yeah,
well, you paint that
yeah.
you
That
paint
that
it.
would be a useful tool to have. So let's see. .com. Let's just go there and navigate. Okay, so you now have here under community, there's a downloads link, and that goes here. And from here, you have access to over 2,000 materials. There's a lot of stuff in here. This comes from Ambient CG, PBRPX, and other websites. And it's all available in 1K and 4K, or 1K and 2K. I skipped 4K based on what Marcel said a few weeks ago, and I think graphics cards aren't really there yet. Like if each material takes a gig, then or whatever, then we can't. 4K is probably not super useful for everything yet, and it would also the uploading time would be like like ridiculous because everything increases by 4 times when you upscale. Everything's available in 1K and 2K resolution, and there's a lot there. So this is really nice because it's like this is all the materials you'll ever need for terrain and for level design. Unless you're doing something like super super specialized, like really like science fiction kind of stuff. We don't really have anything for that. But this is like you're never going to need more terrain materials. This is all of them. So it's really nice to have that done. Now the plan is to implement this system in our right in the editor, so you can access all this stuff right in the editor, and that's going to replace the current Ambient CG browser. I don't think the web interface for this is very beautiful, but in the editor we can make it look like anything we want because I've got complete control over it. This has a web API to fetch all this data. And I tried to these all these thumbnails are 256 by 256. So I tried to keep them like fairly small so that they'll load fast. But this is really nice because this is going to give us we finally have like our own system with all the content we could ever ask for, and we can make it look like anything we want. I don't think that that's going to appear in 098 because there's too many other things to do, but definitely in 099. And in the meantime, you can browse around the website, and if there's something that you want, just press the download button and you can get it. And this is all these are all in DDS format with the Ultra Material file ready to go. So they'll all work right away. And there's thousands of them to choose from. So anything, and you can search up here and just find whatever you're looking for. So I was happy to get that done.
I imagine that would be a lot faster than having the end user having to convert all the materials with the current system.
I probably spent 4 or 5 days on this total over the course of like 8 weeks. Not all continuously, but this has been going on for a long time. It's just something I've been working on in the background. And it's like, if I can do that work once, and then, I mean, that saves so much time, like, collectively for everyone, that it seemed like a very good investment of time. Because all this stuff is ready to go. And it's pretty much like anything you could ask for is there.
Right.
Let's see. Now, based on some feedback from on this model, this is the only model I made, and it's just one piece, and it fits into the level very precisely, and it looks good. But I think I'm actually going to. Initially, I said I'm just going to make like pre-made pieces like this. I think what I'm actually going to do. I think what we need is like. We do need like the modular pieces because we're going to want to be able to fit this into very precise areas. Like if we've got some hallway with a corner and we want to make pipes going around into some configuration, we're going to want to be able to do that. And then I think what we're going to do is take these pieces and then in the editor, we're going to build configurations like this and save them as prefabs. And then that way, if you want to quickly populate a hallway or something with a bunch of pipes, you don't have to go through and place each one. You can just place one thing and it'll be covering the entire wall. But then you can also go back in, and if you need something really precise, you can also do that. And it's also easier to handle the LODs that way.
I think for the most part I'll just be doing everything manually, because every map is a different shape, but there might be like certain like shapes that are very common, because like the first room is very like a weird shape because it has that like angled wall, so I might want something to consider that, like that area and all the like pillars, the support beams and everything. So
some of the more common shapes would be T's, L's,
yeah, T shapes
stuff like
and
that.
like, or maybe just like things that's like, oh, I don't know what to put here, but I'm just gonna put this here because I need something here. Like it's good for that. But
That was your mechanical keyboard that I was hearing.
That was mine.
Clackety clack clack. It sounds like a train.
But yeah, I think that was good. Yeah, all right. We just need those UV'd and textured.
Andy said he'll take care of the UVs. He says don't worry about that.
All right, but what about changing? I want like a tint map or a color map so I could change the colors of some pipes without affecting the rust.
Not currently a supported feature. Andy, I have a question for you. When it comes to LODs, how well can you handle that? Like if you have two models that are each a different LOD, how hard is it? Like, would you have to go through in Substance Painter and try to match them exactly? Is that even possible?
Not really. No, normally you have everything done and then you generate the LODs.
Ooh.
You go from a higher version, you just go to a lower version.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really difficult because with 3D modeling, like the way I'm doing it, like it's much easier to just go back and change like the number of sides that each of these cylinders was created with. It's very easy to get different sizes, to get your different LODs that way. And it's going to give you a much more precise result than trying to reduce your detail after the fact. But I also understand what you're saying.
The problem,
because normally you want to keep the same UV map,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
if you have multiple LODs with different UV maps, then you have also 4 materials for a model. Makes not that much sense.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting because that changes our pipeline. I was wondering about that. I thought maybe they have like a tool where you have like 2 models loaded at once and you're painting both at the same time.
No, you just generate them from existing UVs.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
have to.
well,
Well, that changes the pipeline, but okay.
Yeah.
Or you
LED.
make them yourself with the same UV map is usually what
Eh.
people do.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I actually had to go back and do some LEDs on some of my old models, and all I did was just make a simpler version of that mesh, and then just made something, and then just align the UVs to sort of looked like it was like aligned, but it's not really. But
Yeah.
it's like, well, and it's like that's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I mean, for the far away LEDs, you're not gonna be able to tell if it's a little off, but
Yeah.
Okay. So that gives me good information. I think Reap has a model is it ready to go now?
It's very. Yeah, I just didn't upload it because I forgot. It's just a simple like little light. It doesn't need LEDs because it's a very simple model. It's a security light. And it's just we can just get away with one. Let me load it up real quick. Let me find it real quick.
Okay.
Models.
Yeah,
This might be, like-
Andy's sort of the last step in the process. So it'll be nice. I'd like to see what
Yeah,
he's
this
able to do with this.
Alright, it's only 60 polygons and 120 vertices. I don't think it needs any.
that doesn't require any LEDs. You'll be fine.
It's a very small model. It's like 30 centimeters, so it's not really like that big of a deal.
What is it meant
You
for
just
ray?
need-
Is it meant for ray tracing?
Okay. But yeah, I can. It's on the repo now. I don't know if we push FBXs to the repo, but I can just zip it real quick. It's
Okay.
a very simple model.
And Andy, what file format do you prefer to receive those in?
Everything is fine, like FBX is
Yeah,
usually the common thing.
I just did FBX because I don't. GLTF is like a little bit too bloated because it makes the bin file and everything, and I was like, oh, I just want a simple model. So
You don't have to have the bin file, though. You can do embedded.
Yeah, I know. It's just
Everyone
know.
always forgets the bin file. That happens
Everyone-
so
yeah.
often. No matter
Yeah,
how
it's
many
easy.
times I say.
that's the one reasons why we have a proprietary format now.
The main reason was external
LD.
materials. External materials are pretty much a requirement.
Yeah.
Like once
Yep.
you start working with it, that becomes very important.
I mean, it was nice to have like everything in one, but I understand like when you have like multiple models and you just want one, it all points to the same texture sheet, like trees and such.
You uploading it yet?
Yeah, I can. It's on the Git, but I'm just gonna zip it up real quick and just send it to you over the chat. Give me a second. It's only one model. I'm giving you the Blender file too. This way, if you need it, you have it. I don't think you need it to generate. I didn't generate the material ID, so you can probably have to generate the material ID. I just did a simple shape, just to be like, well, does that look good? Yes, it looks good, and that's all I did. So give me a second, and I will push that.
Let's see. I also found some music that I like from this artist. He's called Surreal. I was just like listen. There's a YouTube channel that I listen to sometimes called Radio Stalker, and I think I just had that playing, and eventually, like the playlist, just the algorithm or whatever threw me over onto this guy's channel, and I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of I haven't listened to that before. His style it sounds like Stalker music, but it's all unique. It's all his own. I like this song in particular because it sounds like it's got a little like bell like going by, so it sort of sounds like a train, but it's very like indistinct, and it doesn't I think it would blend into the gameplay pretty well, and it wouldn't like stand out or sound weird at any point. So I actually, I just made a YouTube the only way I could find to reach him was to comment on YouTube, and I don't know how often he is online, but I asked him if if he's interested in like licensing any of his music for games. But I think it sounds like very cool. I like it. It's like very droney, ambient. There's that bell.
Really reminds me of Fear.
And I also like this type of tunnel here. I think this would look very good for like subway tunnels. Just make it bigger.
Right, you have to figure out how to get that to that shape.
I can model that easily.
Yeah, and have to our existing shell because it has a square exit, and I'm worried about making any arches because we don't have.
No, you just
Maybe
just make the model. I can just make the model we need and pop it in there, and it'll be fine.
You want to see how to make the model? Should I stream or
Oh, are you gonna do it right now?
I can do it? Yes, this is a small model.
We'll do it live.
Yeah. We're doing
I
it
can do it
live.
live.
Okay, let me stop streaming. All right, cool. Yeah, let's see what he can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a world premiere of Andy's substance painting skills.
Well,
Never before seen in the world. We're doing it
We
live.
saw it once. We saw it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
that was just a demo. Like this is the real thing.
so yeah, I have the model here.
Yeah.
First of all, I need it. I just import the FBX. I know you sent it to Blender file, but
All right. No, do what you gotta do. I just sent you everything. So,
yeah.
and I didn't really spend too much time in the model. I had a reference, and I just modeled off of that. I just need something very low poly. But
But you need. Yeah, I think we don't need transparency, right? So
that or an emission. Yeah, like an emission, like because I don't think we want transparency. I was thinking that just be like an emission area, and we'll just put like that's where the light is.
okay. Second UV editing
What is that beeping?
TeamSpeak.
Sound muted.
Oh,
I was in TeamSpeak. Then I have here this thingy.
It's not UV, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Wait. Yes, you're right.
Wouldn't it be easier to select the entire thing, make it red, and then just select the white area, and just make it blue?
Wait a second. Normally it should be. It's taking a while. And I need to start new.
You always gotta delete the default cube in Blender.
Yeah,
I made a start file.
there's an add-on where you can actually remove it, but
I just save a new start file and I configure it so everything is set to centimeters and I have my baking settings all preset ready to go.
here's the model, and then I go to here. Then I select this. I make this, and then I have the UV map. That's 2D. Here it is. So yeah, I could also go here, and then I need to do this on where it is. Normally it should. Yeah. So the problem is that they are not that good at the moment, but I think it's okay even with this. Whatever. So import, and now I have the UV map here, the exact same, and then I assign the material IDs because we only want to have one texture set. So I make this as the base material, and then this one as something like white glass or something like this.
Yeah.
So then I go to bake. The material ID, it will be look different or different colors, but in the end it's the same.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's
yeah.
just an ID mask.
Yeah, exactly. And then I save this ID mask. Now I need to open Substance. It's the old version, but
Mine's even older. I have 21.
yeah, I buy only every second or every 2 years I buy a new one. Okay, so now I need to export this again with the correct UV map.
The model should be Y forward Z up. When you export it, because they're already placed in maps, and forward
It's
is
not that important for Substance.
It doesn't matter for Substance when you're just
no,
doing
but
the-
I'm going to need that model to repoint to Ultra Engine.
We
Yeah,
can
but-
we can rotate it in the editor, and then you can reset the pivot if you
Yeah,
need
it's not
to.
important. I just need to have the model in Substance, and
What
also
matters
the-
more is probably the scale, and make sure the scale is exported correctly.
Exactly, yes.
If you can, that's ideal. But you can also adjust that in the editor, and then reset the scale and save it.
And then is there some ID map? I use the ID, and then I go to bake. I have exported it with 2 material seconds. I was,
Oops.
yeah, it's not that hard. Just go here and now I have the default material. And for this I also need to set the material map now, because I set it for wrong. I obviously don't want to bake this. Common settings, like, yeah, 2K or something is okay.
Small model though.
It's done. So now we have this, and then we can also see the ambient occlusion, for example, and it looks okay, so nothing weird.
Sometimes you can get some really weird looking stuff sometimes, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then I can, search a few materials, for example, something like metal or steel. Take this or this, and the problem is I have not that good glass thingy here. It's it's not the right color. I need to change the color from this a bit.
To something like yellow-ish or something.
Yeah, I have not that much materials. I just want to make some white glass effect, but I need to see which which looks good, and change a bit.
Yeah, I imagine it's like a yellowed cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not LED. It's like a fluorescent. Like has been like changed since like the 70s or something.
And then we can have some rust also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for this we can.
Yeah. I think there should be more rust than anything because it's been underground in a very damp environment.
The problem is now this when we work with material maps, the problem is if I use the rust now I have it everywhere, so I need to make a second layer, and yeah, so I sign it here, and then I have here this mask already, so I need to create a group out of it, and on this group I can use the second mask. So you have the rust only on the metal surface and not on the glass, for example. Something like this. Maybe the color.
That's pretty nice.
Maybe the color is a bit not orange or not here. This can have also another color. Let's see. Something like this here, and then yeah. We have. I'm not sure. It's the security light, right? You made.
Yeah. So I was mostly if you played Counter-Strike, so there's like a security light they use in the maps. It has the way you have it yellow. It's like brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I just
Well,
got the
very-
dimensions.
It would be also have like a very yellowed cover of where the light would be, I guess.
Yeah, it was,
From age.
And then I can select this.
Mhm.
Make something like this, and it's white at the moment.
yeah, but I use this for I don't think adding text would be good because I use this in multiple areas, and people are going to want to be able to use this anywhere they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think like
Over specialization.
yeah. So I don't think adding like security to things is going to be. I mean, you can make a version of it, and what we can do is just duplicate the model, and then where we put like you can make like a room version and then just a generic version.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that. So
Unless Josh adds skins.
Can also make some
Maybe
dirt
someday.
on it.
Well, we don't actually need it now because once I get mesh painting, material painting on all 3D models, not just on brushes, then at that point you're going to be able to apply any material to any 3D model uniquely. So that actually solves the skins problem.
I disagree because I would like
To be able to switch things very quickly at runtime between like
so
the lights on and off for strips and stuff, right? Like for
or
your game.
yeah or what about my indicator panels right inside.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a command that allows you to do that. It'll be like, I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work yet, but it'll be on the model class, and then it'll accept like the mesh index, and then it will add that material to a unique list for that instance of that model.
Do decals work on skinned meshes / regular meshes?
They work on everything.
All right.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah. One criticism of your texturing, Andy, though, is I feel like you oversaturate the colors, which is no big deal because I can just desaturate it in the editor. But
I just use the normal saturation from Substance at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, well, we can always tone it to our liking in the editor. So just do what you do, and it's just something I wanted to bring up with you.
Good thing Josh didn't remove the saturation feature.
Yeah, that's really handy. Like, and like Andy's barrels, we're using them, and I just desaturated them. I made it to 64%.
Yeah, very saturated.
Yeah, and it fits in better. So having that level of control is really great because you might not know the person that made the model or the skin, and you can be like, well, this is too saturated, or this is not saturated enough, and you can just
Yeah.
So you can have some rust here on the edge.
yeah, that looks cool.
And yeah, for this I would need to find another glass material, for example, which look a bit more
Well,
plastic.
Well, it's not. Again, this is a.
Well, you can
Very-
just use a plastic cover of material or whatever.
I think
Just
plastic
do a
is
really
the-
rough yellowed plastic cover.
Wait a second, I think this will maybe work.
That probably will work.
Where is plastic base? Something yellowish, you said, yes?
Yeah, like yeah,
Yeah, but this
like
is
like
too
a
much
gold.
yellow.
That's
like a golden yellowish.
so.
you
Yeah,
know,
you
like
want to be more
from aging
orange.
of plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, you wanna be more-
okay.
Yeah, I think you want to be more in the orange, or like there. Yeah,
Something like this.
yeah, something like
Maybe.
that. I would maybe be a little bit in more the orange space, but yeah, that looks good. It's good. Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of hard to find the right tone for it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that,
So we have the rust layer. I think the wax candle can be deleted. So then we can make some dirt, some smart material here all over it or something like this. It's a bit too much.
yeah, especially rust. Dirt doesn't really gather on plastic that great. Like anything that's
It mostly just gets into the underside of the crevices
yeah.
of where the
It's-
cover is.
Yeah, and then bugs.
Yeah,
like
where
to
it
get-
meets. Yeah.
Something like this. A bit dirt or something like this.
Yeah. We might lose that detail with the emission mask. So
You probably should just make it so that it's just like thin dirt like underneath the edges of where the cover is.
Oh yeah, I can,
yeah,
I can make on the edges.
That'd probably be the
really-
best thing to do here.
yeah, you can just go in with the eraser tool and just leave it.
Yeah.
This is a bit here. We need to remove this mask. Edge. Let's see. Something like this. Curvature. Oh, this looks not that great. Zack.
Yeah, because you only want it on the technically at the underside edges. Metal cover beats.
It's a bit to figure out where you want it, and yeah. This is also not that great.
Ugh.
It's good for rust or for something like scratches. I mean, we can.
Oh yeah, having scratches on the cover would be good.
Yeah, I would paint them normally. Like I also could create another paint layer and make something like broken glass, but it's a bit too small.
It's a little too intense. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the red color. So yeah, you in the normal way you would also paint something like scratches in.
Well, there's that spider web up top. Oh. Well, it wouldn't be.
This you mean?
Yeah, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't put anything like, in the front. I would put it on the sides a little bit because we want like just in the corner because we don't want to make this model too unique.
Well, it's
Like
too
no, just in the
small.
corner, just like in that where on the left
Yeah.
side, and then
You
just
mean
like
here or?
yeah, like in that corner, and just a little bit, just like
Yeah, it's a bit complicated with just a little bit.
you can't just click once and it will just do.
Now, do you need to drag it if I click one? Ah, yeah,
Oh,
something
like
like
that,
this.
like that. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, maybe a bit too small.
Maybe a little bit too small, but something like that. Like,
Yeah, but if I make it bigger, then okay,
No, that's too small.
it's yeah,
yeah, something like that.
kind of hard to find the right dimensions for some details or fracture. You have here some fracture.
Because plastic usually cracks at the seams,
Oh,
and like not the entire thing will be cracked, but the plastic usually cracks at like the ends and seams.
That just looked like ice.
this is
When
Yeah,
it went
that's-
all over, it just looks like ice, just water
yeah,
is
this
solidifying.
looks a bit crazy.
Yeah, I like it though.
I would paint it with the hands, so I kind of don't like this this material.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
or
Well,
you just gotta make it look like if there was like 100 of these all together, they wouldn't look too samey.
something like this, and then we need a mask, of course,
Mhm.
like in this mask here. You can, I think, you can copy masks and then mask. Then I can normally insert the mask, but yeah.
Josh, I'm guessing there is no way to resize sprites currently, right?
You can adjust their size. What do you mean?
Well, I mean at runtime.
Like the sprite entity itself?
No, I mean like in code the sprite class. When you create a sprite,
There's a.
like for UI.
Let me check.
Alright, we make it in the folder.
Because I was trying to do some more complex progress bar stuff because the regular progress bar doesn't take images.
Social sections.
Yeah, I guess not. There might be a command to. Is there a set size command? Like if you start typing that, does it?
It gave me an error when I tried
Okay.
it.
I think that would. That would not be difficult to add.
Yeah, I think in the past I did like set scale. I just used the entity scale.
So here's the.
I'm not sure if they adjust with scale. But
And where do you want the pivot point now? Is it
Where it is now, like that's fine. Like where it is now. I'm just worried about the direction, but I think we'll be fine.
you should put it like 6 feet off to the left and up, and then rotate it around at like a really odd angle, and then make it like the child of like 3 pivots, 3 unnecessary limbs, and make every polygon a separate limb.
Yeah, this way.
I've downloaded a lot of 3D models from the internet, and so I know what's good.
You also have to make sure you rig every side with its own bone.
let's say ultra emergency lights, and I can send it to you so you can take a look in the engine.
All right, we'll see how it is. It's a separate model, so it won't break anything right now.
It's a separate model, yeah.
Yes.
I can make it a zip right here.
Hey Andy,
Yes.
I found some icons. I went looking for icons yesterday, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 2 new buttons in the toolbar. One is for grid snap, and then the other one is for snap angle. And I'm going to put
Okay.
those two together in a group.
Ah, cool. That's really helpful. Actually, I need to upload it on the share folder because it's too big.
Yeah.
Like
so
12 megabyte. It's 10. Oh wait, maybe I can.
you can always DM me it or whatever. So
No, I can't send it with Discord because it's.
No, I mean
Too
on the
big.
site, on the forum.
Ah, okay. Or like this, yeah. We have, yeah, okay. It's not really. So
Forum and all.
So with the widget stuff, Josh, is it supposed to work if you have the like the normal frame buffer stuff creation that you normally have?
Wait, what's the question?
The UI interface stuff, like for the widgets and stuff.
There's an example in the interface in Create interface. There's an example that combines a GUI with the 3D graphics. If that's what you mean, there's like 4 different ways you can use it.
Yeah, because I was trying to do it and I didn't know why it wasn't working.
I think we're gonna make another pass and simplify that a bit, so it'll be like attached to the camera or something. I haven't decided yet, but there's an example there on that page I just linked to.
okay. Now you can.
All right,
now
see you later.
can-
W dot dot dot. I'm in streamer mode, so I don't know his full name.
Now it's your turn.
Yeah, my turn. Go live. Looking up for a sec. And I just. Now,
So that example is supposed to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's QTF.
Because I did try to do it and it wasn't working for some reason.
Okay. I haven't run it for a long time, so I could have broken something. But if that's the case, I'll take a look today. That looks really nice.
Well, I was working not that long. I was like 2 or 3 months. I doesn't work with Substance anymore. But yeah,
where did it go? Okay.
there it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I'm doing, Josh, I create the window and then I create the frame buffer, create frame buffer, the world and stuff.
Okay.
I have a 2D camera for the regular other
Right.
stuff. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll give that example a try after the meeting. Are those
because
back
I didn't know
faces?
if there was, yeah. Because I
Are
didn't
the-
know if there was render layers for it or something.
Are the back faces visible there?
On
Like
this-
why
on
is
this
it
model?
double sided?
On this model?
Yeah, I can see the inside and the outside. Turn it around.
It's
Why can I
yeah.
why can I see the inside?
Probably because backface. This is just the GLCF.
You
Are you
can
sure
look-
you didn't
you can-
accidentally? Are you sure you didn't accidentally invert the normals on the faces?
No.
I don't think that's
No.
that's if you go to click on model, the model tab on
I
your
understand.
ah
Now it's wrong. Because I converted the model. Kind of. Alright.
okay, click on materials, open the materials, please.
Okay. Yeah. Two-sided. It's on.
Okay.
But I don't want to.
It probably just does that by default.
Yeah. I want. But okay, so we have our emergency light, right? This is our window. I'm gonna collapse it. Alright, so now it's facing the wrong way. Like because my model, see this is my model and this is his. It's facing the wrong way, so
Okay,
I
you
want
can
to-
fix this right here. Click on the topmost limb. Not the mesh, the limb. That's the LOD level. That's the mesh. That's the limb. Just rotate it by 180 degrees. And now go up to Tools. Reset, Transform, or something.
Yeah.
And save it.
Right. And I would want to build a box for it.
Or you won't have a collider for the light.
I normally do. You can always turn it off, but it's
I mean, it's whatever. It ain't gonna matter.
because we don't have brush alignment right now. So I have to
People
make it
asked
work.
for it to be removed.
Well, I want
What?
it back. I want it back.
Who asked to remove brush alignment?
They didn't like it.
I liked it. I used it all the time.
What I need to do is make it so it only happens when the surface that's being picked has some degree of verticality, and then it'll align
like
to it.
for dragging and dropping into the scene.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
exactly what he just did.
Yep.
Yeah, we need some emission maybe for the.
Yeah. So we need like an emission mask and
And it should be pretty good. But
yeah. So with the emission, what we can do is just have a mask, and then when we don't want it on, we can just make this black. Emission doesn't work right now, so like I can change this all day and won't do anything.
The emission is not working.
It doesn't on.
I might have missed something because I went through and with the material painting stuff, I went through and like rewrote a bunch of that code, so I could have missed one of those options. Probably
so
did.
if I got this crate, right? I got the emission here, and if I make this like red,
Oh, okay.
It's in the bucket. for-
Yeah, I saw that. It'll be easy to fix.
Yeah.
That looks really nice though. The just the whole scene.
And I just want to turn that saturation down a little bit. I just want to see what it will look like if I do the same amount of. No, not brightness. I always do that. And then. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. This way it blends in a little bit better with this tile. But yeah, that looks great. We just need a emission mask and we're good to go. I think
It's a lot of nice
Okay.
detail. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
that much.
and then I have to replace this light because this is on a weird angle. So. But I might want a different light because we have two spotlights shining here. I don't know if we want to use the same light model here, but
I think it just depends on what you want the light model to like. If you want that light model, then go for it. But I think it's fine. I don't think the lighting looks weird.
no, the lighting looks great. It's just
Yeah, I mean it
has to
doesn't
be from the-
it doesn't necessarily look like it's coming from two sources. It looks, if that's what you're worried about.
Right, so,
I don't think it's something people will notice.
so I can probably do the same.
I think
thing
you'd
here.
be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially in a subway system. I mean,
This would
They
be
do
cool
have-
if,
they do have some standardization. So
if you wait a minute, Reap. If you had an option now in the editor, we was talking about like last week ago, where you can select the model.
And,
And
just
then
replace
And
it.
replace it. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Somebody
Probably
should do
would help
that.
a lot.
Yeah, someone should do that.
Yeah, Reap to go make a plugin.
If I had to plug an API, I could.
You actually could. You actually could. That's why I made
Yeah,
the
I was
extension
thinking-
system.
Yeah, but I don't have the APIs. I don't.
That's
know
true.
where
That's true.
anything-
It's not. There's no documentation of it. There's just examples. That's true.
There's-
all right.
There's a,
All
there's
right.
examples
All right.
and
I'll
best-
do it. I'll do
yeah,
it.
There's examples and best guesses.
That sounds your best skills, Reap.
Another thing we want to do here is open this up. Put some of the fences here.
Is there like a key combo for that? I need like a.
I don't
I want to.
think
I want
so.
to plug in that just like where I press the space key, it makes that noise.
Yeah, it looks great. The level.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not.
That's
good.
interesting.
That is very interesting.
What's going on there?
I think it's
It's-
the transparency order.
No, it's either the transparency or the refraction.
It's
Alright.
looking a little funky.
That's
I wanna
really
see if it's-
really interesting. It looks like the depth is being applied. That looks like it's a depth only look. I don't know, but I'm curious to see. Can we go into the big room? I want to. Is that still all dark in there?
Yeah.
I actually think this looks very, very cool. Like just like
No,
this.
Yeah,
It looks so spooky, and you can still see it because there's a little bit of fog. So, hear me out. Let's. Can you? Okay, that room right ahead of you, where there's that gate. Can you throw? Can you throw a light in there? No, to your
So
right.
it throws a shadow.
So it has a shadow. No, to your right.
Oh,
Your other right.
The
Behind-
closed off gate area.
Yeah.
Right here, right?
So
Yeah.
so that there's a light shining out through the bars,
Which points-
so that
I want like a point light right now. Ooh, why can I not see
like
it?
put it at the bottom, on the other side of the of that gate, so that it's casting a shadow outside.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't really see.
Get some night vision.
And then just move it like closer.
You want something like that.
Yeah, maybe with a bigger radius, like twice as big. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Probably not that big. But-
let's do. Let's
Pro-
do 8,
probably
yeah.
smaller than that. But anyways,
Well, we have to make it like believable. So.
okay. So here's my idea. I just got this by just walking around in this level. So you enter into this big room through the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
The entrance.
You wanna come from here
No,
now?
the entrance to the room, the way
Oh.
you get into the room. Yes, and then
Okay.
okay. Now, what if this was all dark and you just so you're looking straight ahead to your left, straight ahead, and you see one of those creatures. You can just make out the shape of the room, and you see one of those creatures, like their silhouette goes running by, and maybe you hear some shuffling noise.
Uh-huh.
And then you look all around you, and the only light is the one that's to your right.
Mhm.
To your right. That's the only light you see. It's completely dark, so you're gonna walk over there, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then
yeah,
then you're gonna be like, oh, well, what the heck am I supposed to do? I don't know. And then you turn around you're gonna turn around, and then down the tunnel, there's another light that you could not see from the entrance. I got this idea from Dear Esther, because they always do this. They'll draw your attention in one direction,
Yeah.
and then you
but-
turn around, and there's something that you couldn't see before that draws you in the other direction.
Mhm.
These people here, they actually utilize rats for getting the player's attention.
What's the name of the game?
I don't know. I think it's an in-development game.
So rat, does it like appear like Clippy the paperclip? Hey, looks like you're trying to exit the level.
No, it's just a rat that goes to the direction, and they look over there, and they find stuff.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. So yeah, that was sort of my idea, like a way to one possible thing, and it's just something that it just sort of like
Oh, I
jumped
like- I
out at
like
me
what you-
like as
I
I
like
was
what you-
walking around the level.
Yeah, I like where you're going with this because I don't know like how to properly like this because subway stations are. Oh, like those abandoned subway stations, they are still lit, even though they're not being used.
But
So that might go against that logic.
the light
Like,
needs to flicker.
Yeah,
Oh.
like I do, and I also want the advertisement lights to be incorporated.
That would be
I
cool.
want-
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to use box lights for those.
Oh, this
Um,
game you was asking, Josh, is called Samurai Unicorn.
Samurai Unicorn?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Is
work
there
on-
actually a unicorn in it that's a samurai?
I don't know.
We also need to figure out what we're gonna do. I don't want this grate. I want like actual like
I can model something.
yeah, and just have like halfway so it's not fully closed. But yeah, that'll be a great way to show off our shadow.
What would that be? Can you say that again?
It would just be a great way to show off our shadow. I don't understand the joke.
Great. Get it? You said it would be a great way, and you're talking about a great.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Yes. But I'm not really worried about this spice too much because there's a lot of things I have to do over here. We wanted to make this really, really great.
Yeah, I'd like to focus on this room and like completely
Yeah.
deck it out and
So,
finish it before
we're
we move
still-
on.
So we're still gonna cut out this wall here and put like a fence, some machinery behind here. I want to do something more here. Maybe we can do the pipes on this wall. Because I don't have much space here.
I figured
We
the
don't have,
pipes, you'd probably have pipes coming out of the hallway and then just like wrapping around the corners. And
yeah.
go from wherever you want from there. So, so for the pipes, I think what I actually need to do is I need to make one that is for the curve pieces. I need to make one that has like a more broad curve, and then I need to make another one that has a very sharp curve for going around like basically a 90-degree angle. Because you don't want like a long like meter long radius piece coming out of those. You want those to be almost a 90-degree angle going around the corners.
Cool.
Reap, have you thought about making like maybe like kind of like rat dens where you can like break a piece of the wall and crawl and like crouch into, like for caches?
Yeah, I would.
Like a
Anything
hole
that
in the wall?
involves-
Yeah, but it's like a breakable piece of the wall that
Oh.
is subtle.
That would be kind of difficult because we have to do the gibs and everything.
I'd like to have like some. Oh, you know what else I want to model? Actually, if you go to the hallway, the corner here, what I would really like to do is model a just a piece that like you place in the corner, and it's modeled very precisely around the tiles, so that there's some tiles missing, and then there's a big chunk of like exposed of like concrete taken out of the wall, and maybe some rebar sticking out, so that when you go around those corners,
More here.
no, like more coming out of the hallway. I guess you could put it in the corner there too. But like when you go around the corner, you would see like a big chunk of exposed concrete, and I think that would look that would be like a really good way to make the whole. If you can
Oh,
like add detail like that here and there, it makes the whole level feel less like an origami structure. It makes your brain just sees that, and it sort of assumes that the whole level is also made out of like that solid, like multiple layers of materials.
Yeah.
But that's up to me to figure out.
Yeah. If you like, I'm only limited by what I have. So.
I sent an emission texture into the Xform channel.
Okay.
so since you mentioned the machinery with like you was talking about for the extra area, just from like level design perspective, for me that just seems like that's a good opportunity to like be able to have something nearby where you can get crawl to get behind there like for a cache.
Okay, sounds good.
I have to clean this up, but do this. I have to clean up this material. Let's just convert that to a DBS real quick. Hopefully it converts it.
I think it's also in the wrong folder.
I have to clean everything up. Oh. What? Oh.
The mission is,
I found it all.
the mission is black, I think, the old.
Oh, I see, okay. Oh, I see. I see what you want me to do. Okay, we'll do that. But, right now I'll just do it here. See. Okay. And then I have to clean it up anyway. Yeah, that looks great.
That looks good.
And then when we don't want this to be
You probably want it to be lower on the wall, actually.
light
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that looks more right. But then
That looks more reasonable.
yeah,
If you look at like exit signs and stuff like that, yeah, it's
yeah. And
closer
then
to the frame like
if
that.
for whatever reason we don't want this to be glowing, we could just make that black. But yeah, that looks good. That looks great. I'll clean up the all this.
Just on the bottom, look in the editor. On the bottom, is this the decal? Or something like this, the black stripes?
Oh yeah, I can fix that easily by just going.
Okay.
What was that?
Oh, it was. Well, I have a decal here to blend everything.
Oh,
together.
okay, okay.
And it was getting annoyed, so I just.
It looks too white, but I think you can also change the emission color, right? So you could change.
Yeah. Well, you made it like an orange-ish, so it's gonna be a little bit hard if it versus
I
if it was
can
just.
make it as white as well. So
Yeah, make it
not
white so this way we have more control over it.
Okay, make it white.
I mean, just disable it right now.
But I was thinking, Josh, from gameplay perspective, we could have like caches that like adjust for like things you need the most, kind of like crates in Half-Life 2.
Yeah, but that's more on your game code than engine code.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying gameplay wise. Yeah,
So, health, ammo,
yeah.
and what would these like be hidden, or like how would they?
It'd be like a carrot and a stick sort of situation, like how Reap wants to do the gate fan. You can see them, but you have to figure out how to get to them.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna put in here now. We agreed a long time ago that the texture should just be in the same folder as the model. It's a while back.
I think there's less things that can go wrong that way.
Yeah. But right now we can just do this right now. I'll clean up later. Let me just put DDS. Give it a minute. I also don't think this needs to be 248 by 248. I think that's a little bit too big for our light, but we can always optimize that later. Alright. None. Alright, so now it's white, right? So now we want to go. I'm gonna watch that. Does it collapse? No, it doesn't stay collapsed for some reason.
Wait,
I don't think it really.
go to a model.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say with skeleton?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
it's
when
picking up some it's probably got like some empty skeleton animation data that is lingering.
Yeah, but when
It's
it
still collapsed. It's just it's picking up like it thinks it's probably got like an empty skeleton defined. So it's not really hurting anything. It's just
And now you could change the emission lining, right?
Yeah. So I can make it like that color if I wanted to. Yeah. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this color right now. What is it? It's 17108. Okay. Let's do it like that. So that's what that looks like. I don't know why. I have tone mapping on, so let's actually. I'm just gonna delete. That's what that looks like without anything. No shaders, and I did.
Is that Klepto's effect?
No, it's your effect. Klepto.
Oh,
I was
okay.
using Klepto's effect. This is Klepto's tone mapping, and this is your tone mapping.
Hmm.
And then I used your screen space and the inclusion because his didn't like my decals. I was getting black blotches. Oh no, that was. I don't use his because it's very.
It's not good for motion.
Yeah, it's great for screenshots, not great for motion. And I was
Yeah,
using
it's-
his.
Oh, is it
bloom
doing
tech-
like a reprojection thing?
Yeah, like
Yeah, like it's leaving behind delayed frames of the ambient occlusion.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's not really like. Great.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can pick that up. But... And also,
it's more obvious when you have like an actual skinned model moving around and stuff.
yeah. And I was using his bloom. If I can find it.
Which apparently is broken for decals for emissives. Right?
Yeah, I was getting like black splotches. I'm not getting any more, but I was getting like black splotches with the decals, and I'm not getting it now, but I was getting it. And I like his bloom because it's actual bloom. It just
Can you bring in the crate, the box? Saying is bloom actually working here?
or great.
The box. Or
Well, it's
whatever,
it's a pretty dark scene, so I don't see a lot of bloomy bloom.
Yeah.
I know what Anthony's talking about.
The crate. Is there even any bloom?
I mean, if I move it, it doesn't really change much. I don't know.
I don't
What if
really
you-
see changing.
What if you remove it?
Or can remove it.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anything is changing now.
Oh.
It might be tuned to where it's just it discards, things below a certain lighting threshold, and everything here is below that threshold.
Yeah. Yeah. Since it doesn't really help us here, I'm just maybe we might see it more when we get like advertisements or whatnot in here, but
Yeah,
like
we can always adjust it if needed.
Yeah. But it's not worth
Okay.
putting a. It's not worth using doing a post processing cost if it's not doing anything. That's pretty much mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the emissions looks much better than without.
Yeah, I think in general, unless you like, it has to be a certain color. I think what everyone should be doing is making their emission colors white, and then adjusting the color in the editor. This way, you can reuse that same texture multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Looks
and
good.
Yeah.
And that
And
model
that's
is
also
finished, right?
Yeah, it's finished. It's,
Awesome.
It's a simple model. It doesn't have to. I might optimize it. I might make this 1K or 528 down the road because I don't think this light model needs to be 2K. It's probably easier for it to texture in 2K, but I don't think this model needs to be 2K. But I'm gonna leave it alone for now.
Cool. All right. So this week, next week, what I plan on doing is actually getting this character animated. We've been through this process with the guns, and all of the files I have for him are all in separate FBX files, so I think it'll probably work fine. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got some. could use transparency, or we could use alpha discard for that webbing stuff, or we could just remove it entirely. I don't know if I like it or not. It's not just there; he's got it in a few different places, like on his front and stuff. I think his chest and his little tusks have some of that stuff on it. But I think everything will probably work fine. So we'll have him animated by next week, and then I need to like finalize the agreement with the author so that we can actually distribute this with the engine. I'll probably get do some modeling with those pipe pieces that we talked about. I think that'll be our primary building block to make the level look a little bit more interesting. And then other than that, I just plan on doing bug reports and a few small enhancements here and there. And I think that's gonna be my week.
All right. Yeah, I can't really do much until I get assets. I mean, like when you get the pipes, I'm gonna start piping this area, and then when you do the fencing, I'm gonna cut a hole here and do the fencing here. Um, and then we need models for this room.
Tables, chairs.
Yeah, table stairs, maybe couch, some shelves. We want like a button to open.
I can do
just
that.
simple-
Yeah.
Yeah, just simple interaction.
That should be simple.
Yeah, and then with my thing, I want more. I'm gonna like once I'm done with level design, I'm gonna go back into component stuff, and we can focus on that. How components should interact, and maybe we can update the prefab system to be a lot more useful, better.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions or anything before I stop the video?
No.
Okay.
Well,
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week, and I will see you on the forum. Be sure to tune in next week for another exciting episode of this show.
A workshop.